Hello, and welcome to this modding tutorial for NavalArt. I'm Edward. I am a member of the NavalArt modding community, and I'm here to teach you how to model your designs for NavalArt. Currently, at the moment, we have tutorials on how to get models into NavalArt. So, modding how, let's say, how much damage your turret does, or how to import your model into Unity to get it through mod tool. We have those tutorials, but from what I've noticed, we don't have a tutorial for to introduce people how to model for NavalArt. So today I'll be your guide for this and the guide for the future tutorials for this series of tutorials for how to model a turret for NavalArt. So as an introductory course, I want to show you what a final product could look like, so I brought out one of these. There's three main things to know in order to make a model, a turret for NavalArt. You need the barrel, you need the turret, and you need the pedestal. These are the three objects you will need to import it. You cannot have, let's say, these two together. These cannot be together. They have to be separate objects. Now, you also need to know where they have to rotate from. This rotates from the base, the origin point of the global space. So for example, as I rotate it, it's not changing positions at all. Okay? Same with this. This has it at the origin of the modeling world. So if I rotate it, it doesn't move. This isn't binding with this. This freely moves by its own, but see how it's not at the origin point of the game world, of the modeling world. So it can move up and down independently on its own at the turret base of where it needs to be rotating from. So if I go from the side, up, down, which is where it should be. So, enough out of the way, let's get into the tutorial. Oh, before we start the tutorial, I would like to mention one thing, and it's about the importance of keeping backups. As you can see right now, this is the tutorial you saw just a little bit earlier, but slightly different. This is a different blend file I created for designing the model itself. And I've so called it the Turret Experimental. The reason I've done this is because it's very important to make duplicates of, let's say, this shell for the turret. Because if you were to do any major action, and then along somewhere down the line, you want to revert that change. Sometimes you've modified the turret so much, and it's been so long since you've done it, you've performed so many actions, that Control Zing isn't going to be enough. It's not going to get you to the point where you need to be. And so, by creating a duplicate of your model, of a certain piece of your model, you can ensure that later down the line, if you need to go back, you can always go back and do the modification from there instead of having to go from the very beginning and do all that work all over again. I've had it before and it's just not fun. So always make backups. And if you don't, you're just playing it risky. So just be aware. Alright? Sorry for taking up your time. Now let's move into the first tutorial.